What you eat before bed can repair your brain. These 5 foods boost memory overnight. What you choose to eat in the final hours before you go to sleep can profoundly impact your brain's health. Your nightly routine has the potential to either subtly harm your brain or actively contribute to its rebuilding and repair while you rest. This isn't about fleeting health fads or expensive supplements. It's about common, accessible foods found in any grocery store. Groundbreaking research from respected institutions worldwide reveals that specific foods can actively repair memory circuits, reduce inflammation within the brain, and foster the growth of new neural connections overnight. Many individuals over 60 are inadvertently depriving their brains of vital nutrients at the very moment when nourishment is most crucial. This understanding can change that dynamic starting tonight. Insights shared here are based on cutting-edge neuroscience, knowledge that may not typically be covered during a brief medical appointment. Before diving into specific recommendations, consider a remarkable study that highlights the power of evening nutrition. Researchers found that precise dietary intake in the evening, particularly within 90 minutes of sleep, significantly boosted memory consolidation scores by up to 43% in adults over 65. This improvement was observed when compared to those who consumed nothing or made less optimal food choices before bed. A 43% difference is substantial, representing the gap between easily recalling daily information and experiencing frustrating memory lapses. It's the difference between remembering important dates and facing the distressing moments of forgetfulness that many associate with aging. As we explore the list of brain-supporting foods, it's worth noting a surprising fact. The single most potent food for brain repair before bed, which will be revealed at the end of this discussion, is often something many people over 70 have been advised to avoid. This revelation might be genuinely unexpected, so it is advisable to consider all the information presented to understand its full significance. We will count down from 5 to 1, presenting foods from beneficial to the most powerful for overnight brain repair. Number 5. Tart cherry juice. Coming in at number 5 is tart cherry juice, a beverage whose impact on the sleeping brain is still being fully explored by researchers. While cherries are often seen as a sweet seasonal fruit, tart cherries, particularly the Montmorency variety, stand out significantly. They contain one of the highest natural concentrations of melatonin found in any food. This is combined with a group of anti-inflammatory compounds known as anthocyanins, which have a notable and specific effect on aging brain tissue. The science behind this is quite significant. As people age, their brains tend to accumulate what is called neuroinflammation, a persistent, low-grade inflammation within the brain itself. Picture neuroinflammation like a traffic jam on the brain's internal communication pathways. Signals struggle to pass through efficiently, connections become disrupted, and both the formation and retrieval of memories are hindered. After the age of 70, this neuroinflammation typically increases considerably and is now recognized by many researchers as a key factor in age-related memory decline. Tart cherry juice addresses this issue from 2 angles simultaneously. Its anthocyanins are capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier, a protective filter that most substances cannot penetrate. Once inside the brain, these compounds help to suppress inflammatory proteins called cytokines, which are directly involved in damaging the neurons crucial for memory storage. Concurrently, the natural melatonin present in the juice helps optimize sleep patterns. Specifically, it increases the duration of deep slow-wave sleep, which is the essential stage when the brain carries out its most intensive memory consolidation and repair work. A study published in a reputable nutrition journal demonstrated that adults over 65 who regularly consumed 8 ounces of tart cherry juice each night for 12 weeks experienced a 24% improvement in sleep efficiency. They also showed significantly better results on tests measuring episodic memory, which is the ability to recall specific personal experiences and events. This is especially vital for older individuals, as natural melatonin production can decrease by up to 50% after age 65. This means the brain has fewer of the chemicals needed for restorative sleep stages, where memory repair occurs. Tart cherry juice offers a natural, gentle way to help compensate for this deficit with minimal side effects. To incorporate tart cherry juice into your routine, consume 8 ounces of pure, unsweetened Montmorency tart cherry juice about 60 to 90 minutes before bedtime. It's important to specifically choose the Montmorency variety, as its nutritional profile differs significantly from sweet cherries. If the tartness is too intense, you can dilute it with a small amount of water, but avoid adding sugar. Sugar could negate the anti-inflammatory benefits that are central to this recommendation. To enhance the absorption of anthocyanins, which are fat-soluble, consider pairing the juice with a small amount of healthy fat. This could be a few walnut halves or a teaspoon of olive oil on a cracker. The combined effect of tart cherry juice and walnuts is particularly noteworthy for brain health, which will be further explored when discussing walnuts. Number 4. Greek yogurt. The fourth item on our list is a food commonly found in many kitchens, yet its brain-boosting potential is often overlooked due to improper timing: Greek yogurt. The key benefits for an aging brain, particularly when consumed before sleep, stem not just from its calcium or general protein content, valuable as those are. The primary reason it is recommended is its exceptionally high concentration of tryptophan. Tryptophan is an amino acid that acts as a direct precursor to serotonin, which in turn converts into melatonin, the hormone that regulates your sleep cycle. Consider tryptophan as a vital raw material for your brain. Your brain efficiently converts this tryptophan into serotonin, and then transforms serotonin into the melatonin necessary to govern your sleep patterns. By consuming Greek yogurt before bed, you are essentially supplying your brain with the essential ingredients it needs to maintain its overnight repair and operational processes at full capacity, ensuring a robust restorative cycle. This becomes especially relevant for individuals over 60 due to a biological phenomenon known as anabolic resistance. This term describes the body's reduced efficiency in utilizing protein as it ages. After the age of 70, both muscles and brain tissue become less effective at extracting the crucial building blocks from proteins consumed throughout the day. However, research indicates that slow-digesting proteins, such as the casein protein abundant in Greek yogurt, are processed differently when consumed in the evening. Because casein protein breaks down gradually over 6 to 8 hours, it ensures a sustained supply of amino acids throughout the night while you sleep. This extended availability provides the aging metabolism with a longer window to absorb and effectively use these vital nutrients. For the brain, this continuous supply of amino acids is crucial for repairing synaptic connections, which are the fundamental junctions between brain cells where memories are physically stored. Each memory exists as a complex pattern of these connections, and their structural integrity relies on protein-derived compounds. A single cup of full-fat Greek yogurt provides approximately 17 to 20 grams of protein, predominantly casein, making it an excellent brain-friendly food for bedtime. A notable study found that older adults who consumed 40 grams of casein protein before bed showed significant improvements in overnight muscle protein synthesis and various cognitive recovery markers compared to those who ate nothing. Researchers specifically observed enhancements in cognitive flexibility, which is the brain's capacity to fluidly switch between tasks and thoughts. This skill is often among the first to decline with normal aging, making Greek yogurt a valuable dietary inclusion. For optimal benefits, consume 1 cup of full-fat Greek yogurt about 45 minutes before bed. Opt for full-fat varieties, as the fat content is important for optimal nutrient absorption. You can enhance its properties by stirring in a small amount of raw honey, which offers its own brain-supporting attributes, or a few blueberries for an extra boost of anthocyanins. It's best to avoid adding granola or other high-sugar refined carbohydrate ingredients, as these can cause insulin spikes at bedtime. Such spikes could potentially interfere with the very brain and repair processes you are aiming to support during sleep. Number 3. Walnuts. At number 3, you might be surprised to find walnuts. Not just any mixed nuts, or almonds or cashews, but specifically, walnuts are highlighted. The reason for their unique position on this list lies in specific compounds found in few other foods on Earth, which have a direct, measurable, and scientifically documented effect on the aging human brain. The scientific evidence supporting walnuts for brain health is among the most robust in nutritional neuroscience. Walnuts are distinct among nuts for their significant content of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a specific omega-3 fatty acid. This is combined with a high concentration of polyphenols and a unique antioxidant known as ellagic acid. However, the most crucial compounds in walnuts for brain health are their exceptionally high levels of DHA precursors. Your body converts these precursors into docosahexaenoic acid, DHA, which constitutes approximately 60% of your brain's structural fat. Imagine DHA as the essential insulation surrounding electrical wiring in your brain. Without sufficient DHA, the signals transmitted between your brain cells can become sluggish, distorted, and inefficient. After the age of 65, the brain's ability to produce and maintain adequate DHA levels declines considerably, often leading to deficiencies that go unnoticed. Research has consistently shown that older adults who regularly consume walnuts exhibit significantly better memory scores, faster cognitive processing speeds, and greater mental flexibility. Their mental performance often surpasses those who do not regularly include walnuts in their diet. One study involving over 600 adults with an average age of 68 found that increased walnut consumption was associated with a remarkable 52% lower risk of poor cognitive function on standardized tests. This significant percentage highlights the profound impact walnuts can have. The timing of walnut consumption is also crucial, primarily due to its connection with your brain's overnight glymphatic cleaning system. During deep sleep, the brain activates this glymphatic system, a network of channels designed to flush out metabolic waste, including amyloid plaques linked to age-related cognitive decline. For this flushing process to operate effectively, healthy brain cell membranes are essential. These membranes are constructed from the very fatty acids that walnuts help provide. Eating walnuts before bed ensures these vital building materials are readily available in your bloodstream precisely when the glymphatic system is most active. For practical application, consume between 1 to 1.5 ounces of raw or dry roasted walnuts. This equates to a small handful or about 14 walnut halves, eaten approximately 60 minutes before sleep. It's important to avoid walnuts roasted in oil or salted, as added sodium and oxidized fats can diminish their cognitive benefits. For an enhanced effect, consider pairing walnuts with tart cherry juice. The combination of anthocyanins from the cherry juice and polyphenols from the walnuts creates a potent, compounded anti-inflammatory effect in the brain. This combined effect is more powerful than either food alone, acting synergistically to support brain health. Together, these two foods form a powerful evening maintenance crew for your brain. Number 2. Raw honey. At number 2, we feature raw honey, a food revered for millennia across various cultures for its purported ability to enhance mental clarity. Modern neuroscience is now confirming these ancient insights in unprecedented ways, underscoring its significant value. It is crucial to be specific about the type and dosage of honey, as the processed honey typically found in most pantries differs significantly from the raw version recommended for brain health. Raw, unprocessed honey, particularly varieties like Manuka or local raw wildflower honey, contains a remarkable flavonoid called pinosembrin, which is rare in other dietary sources. Research has demonstrated that pinosembrin actively promotes the growth of new neurons in the hippocampus, the brain region most directly responsible for forming and storing new memories. This ability to generate new brain cells, a process known as neurogenesis, was once thought to cease in early adulthood. However, we now understand that neurogenesis continues throughout life in the hippocampus and can be both boosted and hindered by dietary choices. Raw honey supports this process, while processed sugar tends to have the opposite effect, actively hindering neurogenesis. This information holds particular importance for individuals over 65. After the age of 75, without active protective measures, the hippocampus can shrink by approximately 1 to 2% each year. This shrinkage is directly linked to a decline in episodic memory, the type of memory essential for recalling conversations, personal experiences, appointments, and the names of loved ones. However, studies have found that daily consumption of raw honey is associated with significantly increased levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. Think of BDNF as fertilizer for your brain because it fosters the growth, maintenance, and repair of neurons. BDNF is arguably the most critical protein for preventing age-related cognitive decline. Adults over 60 typically have BDNF levels that are 30 to 40% lower than those of younger adults, and raw honey can play a role in their restoration. Beyond neurogenesis, raw honey also impacts cortisol, the body's primary stress hormone. Elevated cortisol levels at night are highly detrimental to the aging brain, potentially killing hippocampal neurons with prolonged exposure. Moreover, high cortisol suppresses the deep sleep stages vital for memory consolidation. Raw honey triggers a mild, controlled insulin response that gently lowers cortisol levels in the bloodstream before sleep. This action essentially calms the chemical disruptions that could otherwise interrupt the brain's overnight repair functions, allowing for more effective restoration. Studies have indicated that individuals consuming raw honey before bed exhibited significantly lower midnight cortisol levels and performed notably better on memory tests administered the following morning compared to control groups. This highlights its dual benefit for sleep and cognition. The optimal dosage for raw honey is 1 to 2 teaspoons, taken about 30 minutes before bed. Exceeding 2 teaspoons may cause an overly aggressive insulin spike, potentially counteracting the desired benefits for brain health. The honey must be raw and unheated because the processing and pasteurization common in most commercial honey destroy the beneficial pinosembrin and enzymatic compounds responsible for neurogenesis. Seek out honey labeled as raw and unfiltered, ideally from a local beekeeper or a reputable natural food supplier. To consume, stir it into warm herbal tea, ensuring the liquid temperature does not exceed 40 degrees Celsius, 140 Celsius, as higher heat can degrade the active compounds. For an ultimate bedtime brain protocol, pair raw honey with Greek yogurt, the casein. Protein in yogurt slows the release of honey's sugars, extending the gentle cortisol-lowering effect throughout a greater portion of the night. This extended action optimizes the brain's repair work, creating a powerful synergistic effect. Number 1. Fatty fish. Now, we arrive at the most powerful brain-repairing food you can consume before bed. This is one that many individuals over 70 have paradoxically been advised to avoid, and it is considered one of the most significant dietary interventions for cognitive longevity currently known. We are talking about fatty fish, specifically wild-caught salmon, sardines, or mackerel, consumed as a light evening meal or a substantial snack approximately 2 hours before sleep. It is common to have concerns about cholesterol or weight gain from eating before bed, or general caution around fish, especially in the evening. However, the scientific evidence on this topic presents a perspective that often diverges significantly from common dietary advice. It's time to reevaluate these long-held concerns in light of current research. Wild-caught fatty fish is the most concentrated dietary source of preformed DHA and EPA, two omega-3 fatty acids that are not merely beneficial for brain health, but are fundamentally essential to its structure. These are not just compounds that might improve brain function like a vitamin. They are literal building blocks of brain tissue. Your brain is roughly 60% fat by dry weight, and DHA is the single most important fat within that composition. Every neuron in your brain is enclosed within a membrane primarily composed of DHA, and every synaptic connection where memories are stored requires DHA for its structural integrity. Essentially, every signal that travels between brain cells, every thought, and every memory relies on the health of the membranes maintained by DHA. This makes adequate DHA intake absolutely critical for cognitive function. A critical age-specific factor is that after the age of 60, the liver's ability to convert plant-based omega-3s, like those found in walnuts and flaxseed, into the DHA that your brain actually utilizes, decreases by approximately 60 to 70%. This means that for most people over 60, plant-derived omega-3 sources provide only a fraction of the DHA benefit they would have offered in earlier decades. The most effective way to ensure your brain receives adequate DHA is through the direct consumption of preformed omega-3s, and the richest dietary source of these is fatty fish. Research from a significant study involving over 900 older adults found that individuals who ate fish at least once a week had brains that appeared, in terms of cognitive function, to be the equivalent of 11 years younger. This was observed compared to those who rarely or never consumed fish. This isn't a marginal improvement. It represents a full decade's worth of aging effectively mitigated through a single dietary habit. The profound impact underscores the importance of this dietary choice. The timing of fatty fish consumption in the evening is especially powerful because of its connection to the glymphatic system, the brain's overnight cleaning mechanism. This system activates during deep sleep to flush out metabolic waste products accumulated during the day, including amyloid beta proteins associated with cognitive decline. This cleansing process is dramatically more efficient when brain cell membranes are rich in DHA, as healthy and flexible membranes facilitate the smoother movement of glymphatic fluid through brain tissue. This ensures a more thorough clearing of waste. Studies have shown that glymphatic clearance can be up to 60% more efficient during sleep when individuals have adequate DHA levels compared to those who are DHA deficient. Consuming fatty fish in the evening ensures maximum DHA availability in your bloodstream during the critical hours when your brain's repair and cleaning processes are most active. Fatty fish also contains additional compounds that make it uniquely suited for this role. Wild salmon, for example, is rich in astaxanthin, a carotenoid antioxidant that readily crosses the blood-brain barrier. Astaxanthin is recognized as one of the most potent neuroprotective compounds in nutritional science, being 20 times more powerful as an antioxidant than vitamin C. It specifically targets the mitochondria within neurons, the tiny energy-generating structures inside every brain cell. After the age of 65, neuronal mitochondria can start to dysfunction at an accelerated rate, leading to reduced energy production and increased generation of damaging free radicals. Astaxanthin helps restore their function, boosting energy output and reducing oxidative damage in the very cells vital for memory and cognition. Moreover, fatty fish is an exceptional source of vitamin D3, vitamin B12, and selenium, three nutrients in which a majority of people over 65 are clinically deficient. All three play direct and crucial roles in neurological function and cognitive preservation. For instance, B12 deficiency is estimated to affect between 15 and 40% of adults over 60 and is directly linked to brain atrophy, memory loss, and mood disturbances. A single 4-ounce serving of wild salmon can provide approximately 80% of the daily B12 requirement in a highly bioavailable form. A long-term study that followed over 1,000 hearts. Adults aged 60 to 90 for 7 years found that those with the highest blood levels of omega-3 fatty acids at the study's outset showed 73% less hippocampal shrinkage over the 7-year period compared to those with the lowest levels. The 73% reduction is highly significant, as the hippocampus is the brain's memory center, a structure whose quiet shrinkage many individuals have experienced. This powerfully demonstrates that dietary choices can profoundly impact the trajectory of cognitive health. For practical preparation and sourcing, wild-caught Alaskan salmon, Atlantic sardines packed in water or olive oil, and Atlantic mackerel are excellent choices. While fresh fish is ideal, high-quality canned sardines and salmon are equally effective nutritionally, offering convenience and affordability. A 4 to 5 ounce serving consumed 2 hours before bed allows sufficient time for digestion and the gradual release of fatty acids into your bloodstream, aligning with your sleep cycle. Prepare it simply: baked, steamed, or eaten directly from the can if choosing sardines. Avoid heavy sauces, breading, or frying, as these can introduce inflammatory compounds that detract from the overall benefits. The synergy pairing for fatty fish is raw honey, taken about 30 minutes after your fish meal. The honey's cortisol-reducing properties create a calmer neurochemical environment, allowing the omega-3s to perform their most effective repair work overnight. This combination supports comprehensive brain health. Combining fatty fish, a small handful of walnuts, and 1 to 2 teaspoons of raw honey as your complete evening brain protocol provides your brain with DHA for structural repair, BDNF stimulation for neuron growth, glymphatic support for waste clearance, anti-inflammatory protection, and cortisol management, all in a single, beautifully coordinated intervention. Conclusion: the scientific references supporting the information shared here are readily available for further exploration. It is encouraged to review these findings, discuss them with healthcare providers, and consider how these dietary strategies might integrate into one's personal health plan. It is a deeply held belief that the idea of cognitive decline being an unavoidable aspect of aging, where the brain inevitably deteriorates after 65 with no meaningful interventions possible, is one of the most detrimental concepts in contemporary health understanding. This notion is damaging not because it is entirely untrue, but because it often becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when individuals accept it and cease to proactively support their brain health. Those who successfully maintain their mental sharpness, independence, and ability to live rich, full lives on their own terms well into their 80s are not simply products of genetic luck. They are individuals who consistently make deliberate, small daily choices about their nutrition and timing. They are people who actively reject the idea of helplessness when it to their cognitive well-being. Such individuals understand that there are tangible actions they can take to safeguard their mental clarity and refuse to passively accept a decline in function. It is crucial to remember that it is never too late to make a positive impact. The extensive research on neuroplasticity, the brain's inherent capacity to physically adapt, change, and grow new connections in response to appropriate inputs, is unequivocally clear on this point. Even adults in their 80s have been shown to develop new hippocampal neurons in response to targeted, nutritional, and lifestyle interventions. Your brain possesses an innate desire to heal and is actively working towards repair every single night during sleep. The fundamental question is whether you are providing it with the necessary resources to effectively carry out this vital work.